Last night I dreamt of San Pedro, just like I never thought I'd lose a song. Young girl with eyes like the desert. Hey guys, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez, coming at you today with some more Glitch in the Matrix stories. I have two of them I want to read to you today. One of them is called The Phone Call, which I'll read first, and the other one is called I Could Have Been One of Epstein's Victims. So, here we go. First, before we start, everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. All right, so the phone call. It is from, it was posted about a week ago, but it was from 2012. Quote, we purchased a condo on Lake Michigan. My husband was moving in, and I was downstate 3 hours away, still packing boxes. Hubby and I both had iPhones at the time, and it was 2012. I called husband to see how things were going. During my call with him, another call beeped in, and it was my husband's cell phone number. I jokingly told number one husband he was calling me from another line, so I put him on hold and took the call. It was indeed my husband. He said he was on his way home, and did I have a plan for dinner tonight? I said, where are you? He said he was in town, and that he can grab something if I wanted. I said, just a minute, and went back to first hubby and told him what was going on. He said he could hear our conversation and heard his voice. Now, I went back to the second hubby, but he was gone. The phone registered both numbers at the same time, with the second one connecting while I was talking to the first hubby about the conversation with second hubby. I'm sorry, it was disconnecting. It is now 2021, and I can't shake that call. It was that weird. Don't go to Michigan, fam. That is, all right, so that's a Glitch in the Matrix story. This one's not going to be a Glitch in the Matrix story. It's going to be a creepy encounter. And it's called I Could Have Been One of Epstein's Victims. And I thought it was interesting, so I am going to read it. It's a long one, so my scar, because be prepared. I was watching the Jeffrey Epstein doc on Netflix last night, and I'm spooked. And this was posted 8 months ago. Literally had a mini panic attack with all of these memories flooding in as I'm laying in bed watching a girl's face flash across the screen and recognize one of his victims as one of my really good childhood friends. I don't know if it belongs in this subreddit, but here's my story. I lived in South Florida almost all my life with crazy controlling parents that wouldn't let me do anything as a kid. No phone calls to friends, no friends coming over, and me going over somebody else's house was absolutely out of the question. And my dad was in elementary school janitor, so he was watching me as a hawk. I had to be on my best behavior. But when I went to middle school, I was so heckin' pumped. Finally, some type of freedom. My personality started to shine, and making friends came easy to me. Fast forward to a year in, and I've become really good friends with these two girls. We can call them Heather and Sharon. They were both pretty popular, friendly, but what fascinated me the most was that Heather was the only girl in middle school that I knew that was able to sleep over a boy's house. It was something so foreign to me since my parents told me I couldn't even go on a date with a boy until after I graduated. They weren't really descriptive about high school or college, but anyway. Throughout our friendship, we were known as the tripod. Oh my God. We had all the same classes and lunch periods, so we all got pretty close. Over time, Heather would always ask me to hang out with her and Sharon, either after school or on the weekends, but with my parents, there was no way in heck. I did attempt multiple times to ask for permission, all to no avail, with no success. One day, while sitting out in the courtyard for lunch, Heather pulled me aside and asked if I thought about skipping school for a day. I instantly freaked out, thinking about the automated message that school would call my parents home, thinking, if my parents ever thought that I'd skip school, my butt would be toast. So I just shot that idea down right away and figured there'd be no way to pull it off. But she literally would not stop asking. So eventually she convinced me, and we were ready to start the planning. It took us about a week every day during lunch to try to figure out how to pull it off, but we did it. The plan was to have my mom drop me off at school, like usual, and have the girls there waiting for me, and we would simply just walk off to the gas station that's near the school and have one of Heather's friends pick us up. Not sure how I planned on dodging the school call, but whatever. Oh, and I forgot to add, Heather made it a point several times to remind me that I need to wear something that would give me an innocent look. I blew this off because I was already 13 years old and I looked pretty innocent enough. The plan goes smoothly, and we are walking to the gas station, but as we're walking, Heather's cell phone was blowing the F up, like constant phone calls and texts coming through. Each one she answers, just meet us at the gas station like we usually do. At this point, I'm confused because I thought it was supposed to be the tripod hanging out for the day. As we get closer to the gas station, I see a group of like 7 other girls standing there, and they're around the same age range as us, 12 to 14 years old. Some girls I've seen around school, others I don't recognize, but they all perk up when they see Heather walk up. All of a sudden, Heather yells, "Who's ready to make some money?" And almost all the girls raise their hand and start cheering. So I grab Sharon and ask her, what the heck is she talking about? And the look that Sharon gave me is one I will never forget. It was like she was saying, "Get out now while you can." It just made me very uncomfortable. She never ended up saying anything. It was just weird. A big group of young girls who should be in school just hanging out at a gas station. So as we're standing there, 2 black Lincoln Town cars pull up, make a sudden stop right in front of us. Heather starts numbering the girls and tells the first group to get in the car, and as they do, the car speeds away. The other one slowly rolls the windows down, and I see the older man with sunglasses on just sitting there, smiling. They ask if we're ready to go to the mansion, which excites the 2 girls standing behind me. He opens them up, and he opens the door up. They both jump in, followed by Sharon. Heather's standing next to me and nudges me to go on, but as she does, I start going off on her, asking her what the hell's going on, where are we going, who is this man, and why she didn't mention this in any of the plans. She's looking almost annoyed at me and says, "Out of all the girls I bring, you're the only one that's giving me a problem. I thought you would want to get out and finally have some fun, and with your body, you could make a killing." Jesus. At the time, I was so naive, I didn't even know exactly what she meant. But by the tone of her voice and how pressured she was making me feel, I ended up backing out and ran back to school. As embarrassed as I felt for bailing on my friends, I feared my mom and her belt a lot more. Same fam. Plus, going off in a car with someone I've never met just screamed stranger danger. I'm so grateful that my parents put the fear in me, or else I don't know if I would have made the smart decision. After that, I barely hung out with Heather again. She tried a few more times, but I just got bad vibes from her and just cut her off. But I always saw her randomly walk out of school towards the gas station, always with a group of girls. Sharon, on the other hand, she started to spiral into this depression slowly. She would only hang out with Heather and could just cling to her like a lost puppy. I noticed she would miss school more frequently until one day she just stopped coming altogether. Years later, I found out she'd committed suicide. And recently, after watching the documentary, I'm convinced she was one of Jeffrey Epstein's victims, and Heather was one of her recruiters. Edit. Should have mentioned that this happened in 2004 in West Palm Beach. Oh, wow. I reached out to the only childhood friend I stay in contact with, and she confirmed that it was in fact my friend whom we went to middle school with in that documentary. Since this morning, I've contacted a friend who's in law enforcement to see if I could speak with someone about what I know. Even the little information I have could help out in some way. As for Sharon, I never met anyone in her family or had any contact information as I was on major lockdown back then. And be advised, this was 16 years ago. 17 now, it was post 8 months ago. Still trying to track them down to see what they knew about this. If any, it could help explain why she might have taken her life. I'll keep you updated. I think what that story says is that Epstein didn't kill himself. No. Yeah, anyway, one was a glitch in the Matrix, and the other was a creepy encounter. So let me know which one you guys like. That is pretty creepy. That's not like a, murderer coming in through your door, but that's still like, my God, people are weird. Anyway, I love you guys. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm, and I'll talk to you all later. Goodbye. I love you. Meow, 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 meow. My shoulder hurts. Meow.